We're going to start up today looking at working with logos. And there's a couple things I want to do today, and I'll go ahead and hit the slide here as we talk about them. One thing we're going to do is we're going to look at when you have different size logos. Say you have one logo on the the report header that you show one time, but you want to show a smaller logo on the other pages. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then the next one we're going to do is we're going to have data inside the data system that, based on a criteria, we're going to match the data with the logos up with the data. So let me go ahead and give the 20-second commercial here. If I could get this, well, here we go. So let's start that up again. I love doing this live because you never know what's going to happen. So just the 10-second commercial here is we do customized CRISP report training. We also write the reports themselves, but with the training we'll use your data and build your reports as we're training, and it helps the learning curve speed up. So you can contact Tom Zidell, and on the next page here, this is Tom's email and phone number that you can contact him at. And yes, we do online training over the web, and we do on-site. So, and then also down at the bottom we have the archive site. So if you want to catch up on the webinars that have happened in the past, you can do that. So, and I'll pop these this slide back up here in just a second. So let me go ahead and exit out of this and bring up our first report here. So what I'm going to do is, this report already has a logo on it. On here it has the big JGI, and what I want to do is I want to have the JGI on the first page, which, as you see now, let me make this a little bit smaller so we can see the whole page here. So notice at the very top you have the larger JGI logo, but if I go to pages 2 and 3, actually, I'm sorry, it's already there. I thought I did away with this. I practice this all the time. Let me delete that real quick. I practice all the time, and sometimes I forget to undo what I did. If I go to page 1 and I'm going to jump to page 2 and 3, I want to have logo at the very top. So to do that, what I need to do, here's a couple things I need to do. One is I'm going to create a page header for those logos because it needs to be at the top of the page. Now right now I'm using page header A. It has the column headers. And then page header B, if I make this a little bit wider, is just the line between the column headers and the data. Now what I've done is with that section and formatted that section to be a color and just shrunk the section up so it looks like a line. And this is the line up here that we're looking at. Let me go to the first page, the same thing. Right under that, that's that line I just created. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the left-hand side over here to page header A. I'm going to right-click in that blue area, and I'm going to insert section below. So now we have a page header A, page header B, add to more PhD. All right, so much for the jokes. I never give y'all jokes. I'm giving you jokes now. So here we have PHA and PHB, and what I'm going to do is I need to flip-flop these, and there's two ways of doing that. The easiest way is I can put the pointer in the blue area on the left-hand side. I'm going to hold down the mouse. It turns into a hand, and notice what happens when I slide this up to the PHA. Notice that little blue line up there, and what's going to happen, it flips. They've rotated. Now I'm going to push it back. I'm going to show you the other way of doing this. If I go to the PHB here in the blue area, right-click blue area, and I right-click, I'm going to select the section expert. And notice I have page header A that's highlighted, and then these up and down arrows, I can push it up. So now B is now A and A is now B. So I click OK, and notice how they flipped. All right, now we have that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the logo, and I'm just going to copy this one. And I'm going to paste it inside page header A. And wherever the upper left corner goes, so goes the object. And I'm going to grab the bottom of this object. I'm going to shrink it, make it smaller. A smaller logo. In fact, I'm going to take this one, I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to paste it on the other side and place it there. And now we have two logos at the very top page header. But the problem is when I go to preview this on page 1, we have both. We've got the report header with the big logo, and we have the page header with the small logos. Now the thing is, what we want to do is this is section page header A, which has the small logos. When I go to page 2 and 3, we're good. So let me go back to page 1, and we want to do a conditional formatting. We want to format PHA based on our criteria. And our criteria is we want that PHA section to suppress based on a criteria. Our criteria is going to be page 1. If it's page 1, we want that section to suppress, otherwise show it. So I'm going to go over here to Design tab, or I can go Design tab or Preview tab, either way. I'm going to go to where it says PHA in the blue area. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to go to Section Expert, and then notice where I have Suppress here. If I check Suppress, it's going to suppress the section, period, no matter what. Let me undo that. Now I'm going to go back and right click on this again. I'm going to go to Section Expert. Now what I want to do is I want to suppress a section based on a criteria, and that's what this X2 is for. So it doesn't really matter if you have suppressed no drill down selected or not. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the X2 here, and I'm going to go to the editor down below. Now I need to find the page number. Now page number is one of these functions over here. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's part of the additional functions. I click on that. No, it's not part of that. I'm thinking, let's look down. Okay, probably it's a document property. So I hit on the plus sign there, and we have the print date, modification date. We have that information. The thing is no, it's not in there. So I'm gonna hit the plus sign there, or minus sign. So I'm gonna go down to where it says print state. I hit the plus sign there. Now notice our page number is here, and what I can do is double click on the page number there, and it puts it down in the editor. Now the reason I want to show you this is that let's say you don't know where it is over here. You don't really need to have to know. Just know that if I go over here, I'm going to ask you how to spell page number. You're going to say, well, it's P-H-G-E-M or N-U-M-B-E-R if I can spell. I'm going to tell you a different way. Hold down the control button and then hit the space bar. What happens is these are now all the functions that are inside this function box in alphabetical order. And all I have to do is hit the P-A, starting a page, and there's our page number. So I'm going to delete that. So I'm going to ask you, well, how do you spell page number? You spell it, Control space, PA, and then you hit page number here. Now we want to have this where page number equals 1. And the thing is that I don't have to have spaces in there. I'm just putting spaces in there so that you can see it better. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check the syntax. Syntax is fine. I'm going to save and close, and notice that the X2 is now red with the pencil is now at a 45-degree angle, which means it's being used. So you don't have to have this suppress box checked. If there's a formula inside here, it's going to override the suppression there. So I'm going to click OK here, and we're going to go to the first page. The first page, since it is page 1, that section is now hidden. So I'm going to go up, and I'm going to go to page 2 and 3, and so now it's there. So that's just one way of, if you have more than one logo, you want to have a big one on the first page, you create a section to stick your logo in. And notice I create a section to put them in, because if I put them in here in PHB, the column headers, those were suppressed on the first page. So we stuck them in a section of their own so we can manage that section. All right, now I'm going to go down to our next one. This is a little bit different. Let me see if I have any questions first on that portion of it. I don't see any so far. So the thing is that here we have, I'm going to preview this, we have 3 states. We have California, Oregon, and Texas. And why I picked those 3? Because California has the most data in it, Oregon has the second most data in it, Texas is where I'm from. So I get to pick and choose what I want. Okay, never mind. So we're going to go ahead, and what I want to do is, based on, this could be a customer logo. And this is what I've done before, where you actually was customer logos. And since I don't have customer logos and I do have state flags, we're going to say, okay, depending on whatever the region is, show that logo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Design tab, and I'm going to do this 2 different ways. And I want to show you, actually I want to show you both ways of doing it. So I'm going to go up here, I'm going to go to Group Header 1, and I'm going to right-click and insert section below. And I'm just going to make that section pretty big just for the time being. And I'm going to insert 3 flags, or 3 graphics, logos. So insert, I'm going to go down to Picture, and let's go to Desktop here, and go to Logos. I'm going to grab California. I'm going to paste that inside there. And let's drop that off, and let's shrink this up some, so it's just not really huge. And then I'm going to insert Oregon, Drop that in there, and I'm just going to just leave it as is for the time being. And I'm going to insert another picture or logo, which is Texas. And I'm going to drop that in there as well. Now I want these all three to be the same size, and I want these actually to be the size of the California flag. So I'm going to highlight all of them. One way is I could hold down the control button and click all three, or I could lasso them. Lasso, I could put the mouse down here and drag across where they're all three selected, or I can go to the blue area over here, right-click in that section, and select all objects. And I want these two flags, the Oregon flag and the Texas flag, to be the same size as the California logo. So I'm right-click on the California logo. Size is going to be same size. I'm going to right-click on the California flag, and I'm going to align tops, and then I'm going to align the lefts. Now this is one way of doing it, where you stick them on top of each other, and before I did that, let me undo that last part of it just for a second. And put all three of them out here, because what's going to happen when I go to preview this and you look at the group, all three flags are in each one of them. So what I need to do is designate each object where it needs to go. So I'm going to California, and I'm going to right click on the California flag. I'm going to format graphics, and then I'm going to go to the suppress and go to the X2, the conditional format. I'm going to click on that, and this is regions. So I want this suppressed if this region doesn't equal, and then I'm going to right click on this region to see how the data comes across where it doesn't equal CA or California. Whoops, a little too far there, so I'm going to select that, paste data. Okay, I'm going to just copy this. I'm going to save and close on that graphic, click OK. Then I'm going to right click on Oregon, and then I'm going to format this graphic. Suppress. I'm going to paste our formula in there, and I'm going to delete what we had and type in OR for Oregon. Some databases are case sensitive, so I'm going to check the syntax. And then I'm going to go to the Texas flag here, right click on it, format graphics. I'm going to go to the suppress the X2, the conditional formatter. I'm going to press or paste our formula in there. I'm going to type that one TX. All right, so now save and close this. Now when I go to preview this, only the flag should show to whatever. See, notice how the box is still there? They're still there, but all the ones are showing based on the criteria. Now let me go ahead and I'm going to go Design tab here and do what I was about to do earlier. I'm going to right click here, select all objects. I'm going to align tops. I'm going to align lefts. Now when we preview this, and you go through this, each one has their own flag, or each one has their own logo. Now I was telling you there's two ways of doing this. The other way I would have done this, I can go with what I have on, is you start stacking logos on top of each other, they get kind of disorganized or get lost, or something might have happened to them. So what I'm going to do instead is, if I don't have very many logos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to GH1B, I'm going to right click on this, and I'm going to insert section below, and then I'm going to right click on GH1C and insert section below. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one of these flags and put them in their own little section there. And then I'd actually go and line these up. I could right-click, highlight these and right-click and line them up. Now when I preview this, they're all going to show again. Well, the only reason they're not showing here is because what I've done is I have these suppressed based on the object. What I'm going to do now, let me get rid of that format graphic so you can see what's going on here. I just need to clear that out. Save and close. You don't have to remember this. I'm just clearing it out, so I'm going to go a little bit quicker. Format graphic, and we're going to take the suppression off that as well. Let me save and close it, and then here's our last flag down below. We're going to format this graphic and take the suppression off it, because what we're going to do, we're going to suppress the section, not the object. So now when I preview this, all three are showing on each one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to where the California flag is, which is BH1 or GH1B. So I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to Section Expert. I'm going to go where it says 1B. I'm going to go suppress and do the exact same thing I did a while ago. Let me paste that in there where the customer region, if it doesn't equal California, it's going to suppress. So I'll preview that. And so the last two, the last two, it's working. So I need to do the same two on these. So I'm going to go to the Oregon flag. I'm going to right click on GH1C, Section Expert. I'm going to go to the X2, the conditional formatting for suppression there. I'm going to paste that and change this to OR. Save and close. And while we're here, let me go ahead and get GH1D, which is the Texas flag. I'm going to go to Section Expert, and I'm going to go to the suppression there. So I want to suppress this if the state or the region doesn't equal TX. So now when I save and close this, I click OK, and it's going to work just the same as it did a while ago. The only difference is I made a section for each flag instead of one section and laid the flags on top of each other. In fact, if I were to do it, it would probably be most likely this way so that I can see exactly what I have inside the sections and I can manage them better. So let me go back and see if there's any questions. In fact, I'm going to pop this slide up that has the addresses and the phone numbers and everything of Tom and I. So if you have any questions, let me flip over very quickly. If you have any questions, you can give. If you have, okay, let me be very clear about this. If you have a report question, like, hey, this report's not working, what can I do? Do you have any suggestions? Email me. If you like to have training or you would like some reports written or whatever, you need to call Tom Zidell or email him. So I just want to make that clear. So let me go ahead and I'm going to see if there's any questions out there. And that's it. Hey, oh, next week, before everybody's starting to drop off, next week, what I'm going to do, in fact, let me pull that, I'm going to cancel just for a second because I'm going to pull that back up. Come on. Next week, we're going to do a little interaction. I'm going to hopefully, well, not hopefully, we are, I'm going to get you on the computer and have you do what I do. We're going to work with, and I'm going to go to this, I'm going to grab one of these objects here. There's a thing called graphic location. Let's say you have a report that you need, you have one logo that's attached to 10, 20 different reports. I'm going to show you how to attach it to that report and show you if you ever need to change that logo, how it changes on the report. We're going to do that next week. So see you guys next week, and I hope that you had a good week. So take care. Now I've got a few questions here. If somebody wants to say on it, it says, don't logos use a lot of memory? We have been removing logos from our CRISP reports. Yeah, actually, some do. There's some folks that use the, that if you have a lot of logos on there, yeah, you would. If you have one, not necessarily. If you're using Crystal Enterprise, that logos actually is stored on Enterprise so that it's passing back and forth to Crystal. So yeah, it can take a lot of memory. It depends on the size of the logo you have, how big it is, and how detailed it is. So hope that helps. Any other questions out there? All right. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. I'm going to stay online here just for a few minutes if you have any late questions as everybody's logging off. So I'll be here a few more minutes, but we'll see you guys next time.
The organizer